Over the last few weeks, I have been hyperfixated with a mod called Particular. Now, as you might know, I am a huge fan of particle effects, and I've kind of been obsessing over mods that add those little details. If you've seen my first mods video, you'll know I'm a big fan of wakes, which adds some particle effects to water. I'm also a very big fan of a mod called Effective, but unfortunately that is only available on Quilt. Luckily for us, the wonderful developer Chai has created a fabric alternative. And let's start with my favorite feature right off the bat, Cascades. Look at how beautiful this is. You will now find Cascades under waterfalls, and it just adds this beautiful steam effect, and oh, it's beautiful. You also got the water particles up here, look at that. Cascades are made when running water interacts with water sources at least 2 blocks deep. This rule can be utilized to control where cascades spawn, meaning you can add them to custom rivers. If you're wondering what's causing the sounds of the waterfall, that's from a mod called Dynamic Surroundings, which we'll talk about in another video. If we head into the cave, you'll start to see another feature this mod adds, splashes. The smallest of which is caused by water sources above stone blocks, which as you can see drops down into the water below, creating a little splash. But when you'll probably notice it more is when it's raining. Rain is already relaxing on its own, but with Particular, it kind of takes it to a whole new level. If that's not impressive enough for you, let's check out the entity-based splashes. Unlike droplets, the scale of these effects are based off the size of the entity that falls in the water. The bigger the entity falling in the water, the larger the splash will be. For example, if we break the glass here and watch the rabbit fall, it's a rather small particle effect versus this Ravager when we break it, much larger. And I do believe it's based off of velocity too, so if I have a villager fall from 100 blocks in the air, splash! It's a much taller splash. And on warm summer days when it's just hit sunset, you'll notice that there are now fireflies that revolve around flowers. This is a concept that Mojang presented to us back when they were developing the Wild update, but unfortunately it didn't quite make it in. Particular though made the amazing decision to bring them back as a particle effect, which I think is a really cool touch. The mod also adds falling leaves, which actually change texture based off the leaf block they fall from. This is a super subtle effect that makes forest much more atmospheric. Likewise, caves have also been given a little bit of an overhaul with new dust particles. I think my favorite part about this is it almost looks like it's snowing. I feel like except for lush biomes, caves are rather barren. There's not a whole lot going on. I mean, it's a lot of rock, but these particle effects really do add a ton for the atmosphere here, and I just like, it's such a subtle detail and it works so well. And another subtle effect that this mod adds is a change to bubble particles, which look absolutely amazing. If only there was some convenient way I could showcase it, like some soul sand or perhaps a chest, I don't know. Oh look, a naturally spawning treasure chest that I definitely didn't just place for this showcase. And if we hop down into this water and open up the chest, you notice some brand new particle effects that emerge from the block. A really cool feature that comes with this effect is when you combine it with soul sand. If I go ahead and take this block, place it right underneath there, you'll notice that the chest will randomly start to open and throw up bubbles into the air. Look at that, that's so cool. Now this would be perfect in a giant fish tank. And Particular's popping effects extend to spots where bubbles would usually spawn in vanilla. A major immersion breaker is the fact that when you eat food, it generates particle effects for the food you're eating. But the same cannot be said for cake. Now when you try to eat cake, you'll notice that there's a new sound effect, and you get particle effects so that you can be 100% sure that you're eating it. And finally, the last effect on this list, emissive lava particles. These particles will spawn when there's a layer of lava just above a block. This can be utilized to increase some atmosphere in some structures, or can simply be used to help identify lava lakes above you in caves. But that is the extent of the mod right now. I do think they plan on adding more in future updates, but for now we just have these 10 amazing effects. The mod is linked in the description if you'd like to download it. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye. Hey, get out of here.